can see my name is Kumar, and I am in industry for about 14 years now, and I worked for companies like Oracle, IBM, and the CA Technologies, and Franklin, different companies I worked on. And I have also got hands-on experience on different domains, supporting different domains like banking, insurance, retail, automation, different domains I've worked on. And though I have started off my career on Java, J2E, but later on I got a chance to start working on middleware technologies like WebLogic, Oracle Server Suite, and DevOps. And before DevOps, even I handled build and release area. And moving on to DevOps in the industry. So that's my profile, and the kind of the content we want to deliver and the flexibility we want to be. So we really want to make the sessions more interactive, and we are open for many questions, and we don't want you to run with any single doubt. So you can clarify then and there. You can ask as many as questions. The more and more questions you put in, the more and more content may come out. So please open up and please ask more questions. Let it be more interactive rather than me only speaking and you listening. Let it be more interactive. All right. With that, let me take a small example of where are we in the software industry, and then why do we use it. Let me take a small example. Let me take a MS Paint. All right. I hope you all can see my. Let us go ahead and explain it by taking a picture, because I do believe the picture is equal to 1,000 statements. So by looking at one picture, you can understand the most of stuff what we do rather than reading. I'll explain you by picture. Let us take a small example of, let's assume, if I want to develop any of, tomorrow I'm going to set up a new bank. Let's assume this. When I'm going to set up a new bank, ideally for my bank, net banking. So I need a website. For example, let's say I'm going to set up my own bank called Kumar Bank. So tomorrow I want to come up with my website as www.kumarbank.com. This is going to be my website. And for this website, I'm going to talk to multiple developers and then start developing the code using either Java technology or .NET technology. Let's assume we are going on by Java. So here is the case. I'm going to have multiple developers, developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, and developer 4. So let's assume for my application, there are 4 different developers working on developing the Java code, right? Now, all these 4 developers are working for the same project. They are developing the same, Java code, but they are developing for a different functionality. For example, if anyone who want to log in my application, this is supposed to be login functionality. So this is functionality is developed by one of the developer. Second one, if I want to do the fund transfer, I need to have the fund transfer facility. So there is another developer working on it. And third one, if I want to download the statement, I need to have another feature called download statement. And there is other developer working. So like this, 4 different developers are working on a different feature. But end of the day, you have to remember all these 4 developers are working for the same. When I say that, all 4 developers code I'm supposed to be merged. For example, let me take a scenario of your mobile. So in your mobile, the screen may be manufactured by different vendor. The battery may be manufactured by different vendor. The motherboard or processor might have, manufactured by different vendors. Now, end of the day, all these vendors have to come together and then assemble their all the spare parts. Then only your mobile come into the shape. So the touch screen has supposed to be bring in, battery is supposed to be bring in, processor is supposed to be bring in, and it is supposed to be assembled together. The reason because though they are, at end of the day, all is right. So though there are a different vendors manufacturing the different product for mobile, different spare parts, end of the day all these spare parts are going to be assembled together, then only your mobile will come into the shape. So similarly, when my all 4 developers are working for a project, so end of the day all the Java code from each developer is supposed to be combined together. Then only end of the day I can bring up, this is my entire code, to bring up my complete Java code for my application. Now imagine what is happening here. See, now each developer, for example, developer 1 has developed 100 lines of Java code, and developer 2 has developed another 100 lines of Java code. Developer 3 developed another 100 lines of Java code. So all 4 developers have each 100 lines of Java code, and all together I have a 400 lines of Java code. Now each developer has got their code in the laptop, and usually they carry out the laptops and it is not going to be secured, or end of the day all this Java code is supposed to be maintained in a common location. Because tomorrow if I want to do anything with the code, for example I want to proceed with something, so I need to have the complete code available, and then it is supposed to be keep it in a one common location. For that, what we are doing is, I am taking a developer 1 code and I am placing here, and I am taking a developer 2 code and I am also placing an extension, and I am also taking developer 3 code and also combining here, and also placing the developer code and also combining. Okay, and also combining here. So now if you look at it, I am going to take the code from each developer and I am going to merge or combine together so that I will have the all 400 lines of Java code, and that 400 lines of Java code will be maintained in a separate tool called SCM. You call it as a source code management. You call it as a source code management. I will come back to you what tools we can use for source code management, but first let me explain the process, what happens in IT industry. Then we will come back and what are the tools available, what tools we are going to learn, and everything. Let us try to learn it. Now in the process, all 4 developers have done with the coding. All 400 lines of Java code is available, and all 400 lines of Java code is combined in a tool called source code management. Now at this point, I have my Java code available in source code management tool. Now what we have to do as a second step, we have to take this source code from source code management tool, and there should be a process applied which is something called build. If you remember, when I have taken the mobile example, I said all the manufacturer, they bring in their products like touch screen, battery, processor, everything they combine together and they will assemble it. Okay, that assembling process is called a build in software industry. In mobile terminology, how do you call assembling all spare parts? In the software industry, you call it as a build. Now, once you perform the build, you will get output as which is called application. Now imagine, understand the terminology. When I have taken the Java code from everyone, it is just a Java code. It is like a raw code. It is just a raw code. There is nothing can be done at that point. And we have supposed to take in the Java code from source code management tool, and then we have to apply a process called build, so that from Java code the application will be built. That we call it as a Java application. See here, we use a terminology called Java code. Now once we apply the process called build, that means we are converting from Java code to Java application. That is a process called build. Okay, that is a process called build. Now, my application is ready. Now, I have to make this application to be accessible by users. For example, now if you take Google. So Google has developed a Google application, but end of the day, it is supposed to be accessed by users. Facebook has come up with a facebook.com, but end of the day, it is supposed to be available over internet so that people can go open browser and type in www.facebook.com, then they will be able to use it. So any application we develop, ideally we cannot keep in the house, right? For example, with your invention, you developed a product that is very good product. Do you think that product you will be just keeping inside the house? You will not release to the market? No, you won't do that because you invest a lot of money, you spend a lot of money, and then you are going to build product. End of the day, you want to release to the market so that people can start using it. So similarly, here in this example, there is a Java code written, there is a build process applied, and then finally we brought up a concept called Java application. Now, this Java application is supposed to be make it available for the users to be able to access over internet. That is, you have to simply go to browser, open your browser and say www.facebook.com, www.gmail.com. So like this, people supposed to be used over internet. For that, what we have to do, a process called release. You have to release the product to the market. So when you say release, you have to say release the market. Okay. Now in the technical terminology, the release term you also call it as a deploy. I will come back to you what is this deploy process all about. But you can either call it as a release or you can call it as a deploy. Like this. You can either call it as a release or you can call it as a deploy. So finally, your application will be available in production. That means it is available for the users so that people can go ahead and start using your application. So let me quickly recap this diagram. Please focus. I want to set up a new project which is kumarbank.com. For that, I am going to have 4 developers and 4 developers working on the Java code, and the Java code is for my application. Now, developer 1 is working on one functionality, developer 2 is working on other functionality, developer 3 is working on other functionality, and developer 4 is working on other functionality. There are different functionalities Java code written, and each developer has got its own piece of Java code. End of the day, we are supposed to get all this Java code and then merge into a common location or combine into common location. That is called SCM. We call it as a source code management. Now, once we have the Java code ready in source code management, we are going to take that code and apply a process called build. So, process of build means we are taking a Java application, converting them into Java application, Java code to Java application. That process is nothing but a build. Now, when we have application ready, we need to have that application released to the market so that people will be able to access, which is the reason why we follow a process called either release or deploy, so that your application will be available over internet or intranet, whatever. So people can go to system, open browser, and they can access as www or http://kumarbank.com. So they will be able to access it. That is the process called release. Now, if you look at it, the tools and technologies what people use in the current market. So SCM, there are different tools available in the market. You call it as a Git. Next one, you call it as a SVN. Or you call it as a CVS. Like this, there are more and more source code management tools available and it is as per the organization requirement and for the organization process, they will be using different tools. That could be Git, that could be SVN, that could be CVS, and we have few other source code management tools also like TFS, ClearCase. There are so many available, and what I give you is most common used in the market. And depends on organization. Tomorrow if you go to organization, they can use either CVS or they can use SVN or they can use Git. But remember, these all tools are going to talk the same, so no difference. If you drive the Toyota car, the same process of driving you can apply to another brand of the car. Just brand is changing. You are not going to change your driving style. It's going to be same. So similarly, if you work on a Git, SVN also talks about the same, and CVS also talks about the same. TFS also talks about the same. Everything is going to be same. Your process will never change. Only the tool and the way you do is going to change. It's going to be common, right? And now when it comes to the build, we have two major build tools available in the market. Those are, you call it as a Maven. Those are, you call it as a Maven, or people also may use Ant. People also use Ant. These are the two different tools, build tools available, mostly used in the market, which is Maven or which is Ant. These are the two different tools. And again, as I said, it depends on organization what they use, and both are same. Both are same. It's just different tools. Now, when it comes to deploy, there are a few application servers available in the market. I'm sure you might have come across different application server names, but some of the applications to give you, I'm sure you might have heard as WebLogic, WebLogic, or you call it as a JBoss. I'm sure you might have heard of all of this. WebLogic or JBoss. Or you have a WebSphere, you have a Tomcat, you have a Glassfish, Prometheus server, OAS. There are so many application servers in the market, and the same thing, whatever organization is using it, they will use it. Okay, no difference. So, I'm repeating, for source code management, there are different tools available in the market, which is called a Git, SVN or CVS. For build, there are different tools available in the market. Those are called Maven or Ant. And once this application is ready to deploy that into, to release that to the market, we are supposed to have any of one application server that is supposed to be either WebLogic or JBoss or WebSphere or Tomcat or Glassfish. Any of application server we can use it. Everything is going to be same. In every application server, you say deploy, deploy. It's not going to be changed. It's going to be same. Okay. Now, overall this process, if you try to understand, right from developer to all the way you release to the market, all this process is going to be manual process. Now the question is, how do we automate it? Should I really do the manual stuff? Should I really take the code from SCM? Should I really perform the build? Should I really perform the release manually? And how many projects I'm going to do it parallelly like this? It's going to be take more and more time. So how can I make it automate so that it is just going to be triggered? Boss, tomorrow morning 5 o'clock, I need this process. Okay, I will go ahead and set up in an automation tool so that I don't need to wake up by 5 o'clock in the morning. Just my tool is going to take care of it. I can sleep happily. My tool is going to perform that activity just like your mobile alarm. Okay, and to perform all this activity, look at it, to perform all this process, automated, that means getting the code from SCM, performing the build process, and releasing them to the application server. You can automate this complete process, and for that you use an automation tool called Jenkins. For that you use automation tool called Jenkins. Right. So what Jenkins will try to do it? Jenkins will try to listen from you. Tell me, boss, what do you want? You take care of it. You take rest. I will do it for you. Now you tell me what project you want, where is the source code, where is my SCM, and what build process I need to perform. Should I use Maven or Ant, or to which application server I'm going to deploy, WebLogic or JBoss or WebSphere? Give me instructions. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to do the complete job, and once I'm done, I'm going to send you email notification saying that, boss, take rest, I'm done. I'm going to send you email. It is going to be confirmed or failed. So that is the work done by your Jenkins, which is something called automation tool. Now, in the DevOps, one of other important thing we talk about configuration management. What is this configuration management all about? Now, if you look at it, for the release or deploy process, I said I'm supposed to have the WebLogic or JBoss or Tomcat is supposed to be available. Now, my point is, who is going to be installed that? So it's me, manually, fine, I will do it. If it is a one server, I will do it. If it is a two servers, I will do it. But what if I want to install 150 servers? Do you think it's going to be very quick? Do you think am I going to complete in just half an hour? No, I'm going to take lots and lots of time. Maybe I need to spend 24 hours. I might need to spend 48 hours. So how? Is it something that you think doing manually? Remember, until DevOps comes to the market, yes, we are doing manually. All right. So until DevOps comes to the market, all these 150 servers, all these 200 servers, yes, I have installed manually. I spend lots and lots of time. So it's really wasting of time. And tomorrow if someone comes and say, hey, today I have 100 servers and tomorrow I need another 10 servers, can you go ahead and install? So I will tell them, boss, I'm busy right now. I'm going to take another 3 days. Should they really wait for 3 days? Okay. Now the question is, how do we bring down the time? How do we make it the environments installed or set up very quick? I don't need to do it manually. I don't need to repeat that every time. So how can I do that? That is with a configuration management tools that is called, either you might have heard the different terminologies, like you call it as a chef, or you might also heard a term called puppet. You might have also a term called puppet. So any tool that you can use. So what is this? You can do it. You can just one time set up a concept called template, and every time I need any environment, suppose I need a WebLogic environment, I need a WebSphere environment, or I need a JBoss environment, it is just going to matter of just start the process, just kick off the process. It's going to do automatically everything for you, and matter of time, and you don't need to really do it manually. In parallel, you can invoke the chef to install 10 different environments, and you are going to have it ready within few minutes, all those 10 environments. You don't need to spend really time, and it's going to be done automatically for you, and setup is going to be just one time, and you can rerun many times. That is the most advantage with the configuration management, which is called chef or puppet. Any tool can do, and these are the quite today people are using. And tomorrow if you go to any project, I bet you have to use any one of the tool out of it. If you go to tomorrow, suppose if you join in tomorrow to support Wells Fargo application, and if you look at SCM tool, they might be on SVN, they might be on Git, they might be on CVS. If you use build tool, they might be on Maven, they might be on Ant. If they use application server, they could be either WebLogic, they could be either JBoss, they could be either Tomcat, they could be either WebSphere. But as far as my knowledge, WebLogic is on Wells Fargo is on WebLogic. So, and automation for automating all this process, no doubt, they are on Jenkins, 100%, I'm sure. So Jenkins is the one they use. And when it comes to configuration management tools, they have Chef or Puppet, but Chef is the mostly one used in the market. Okay, and to give you a highlight of what is heavily used in the market, out of configuration management tools, no doubt Chef. In the configuration management tool, no doubt it's Jenkins. And in the build tools, no doubt it's Maven. And in the source code management tool, it's SQL. So some people are there in SVN, some people are there in CVS, some people are there on Git. So it is equally divided. So that is how it is mostly used across in the market. And this is the whole lot of process what happens in the DevOps. And I would say in software industry today, it is most important process. The reason because you can imagine, I have 1,000 developers sitting in developing the code. They are masters. They developed lots and lots of code. But tell me, if you don't have all this process, tell me how do you think your project will go to production? 1,000 developers have written huge amount of code, but without applying the build and release and configuration management process, do you think any project will go to live? Any project will go to production? Never. Never. That is the advantage with the whole of this process, and it is very good process. Unlike your other technologies like Java, .NET, other technologies, this process doesn't have any, end dates. It's an endless process, endless. Irrespective of any technology, that's going to be Java, that's going to be .NET, or any technology you talk about today, everyone is supposed to undergo this process. This is mandatory. You cannot skip this process. It's mandatory. And understand that every organization, they have just initiated the process of automating this complete process with the help of Jenkins and also help of Chef. And I'm sure your batch is going to be one of the pilot batch, I would say very beginners. Not many people are available on DevOps today in the market. And yours are going to be pilot batch. I'm sure with the hard work of 4, 5, 6 months, you will become masters going forward. You will become masters going forward. Perfect, guys. That's all I have for today. My whole intention is to give you what is DevOps all about, and then where DevOps will be used in the market, and what tools is preferred. And predominantly, I don't expect any prerequisites from you. Let it be you are from IT background or from your non-IT background. I don't really care, because please trust me, we are going to start from ABCD. I don't expect you to know anything out of software industry, including whatever the commands of Linux or Windows, anything we need, we are going to take care of it right from beginning. All that you have to start with your open mind. I don't expect anything. You don't need to know Java, you don't need to know .NET, you don't need to know any other technologies. Just begin with your fresh mind and we will take you to the heights. That's all, my friends, I have for today.
Oh, thank you, Naren, for the wonderful session, for the nice insights you've given on DevOps. I request all of you to please pose your questions. If you have any questions to ask our trainer, he'll be able to answer all your queries. We'll be waiting for your questions. Before going for the Q&A session, Naren, I just wanted to ask you a few of the questions which I personally have. What would be the duration of this course?
It's going to be 40 hours.
Okay, so can we assume that could be around 45 days, or else like?
Yeah,
It would be
let's
around
take it as, yeah, let's take it as for 40 days only for now, because when we have time during weekends, we can spend even 2 hours, and if needed 2.5 hours, so we can cover that. So let's assume that it's going to be 40 days.
oh, fine. Okay. And I mean, to practice, I mean, for the practice, like, and how can they do the practice? Like, will it be anything like
Most
lab session
of
for?
Yeah,
Yes.
most of these tools are going to be open source. I'm going to show them how to set up this on their systems, and
Mhm.
also we can set up a cloud platform as a second option that we can do. But most of them open source. Like SCM is open source, Build is open source, Jenkins is open source, and WebLogic can be open source. We can download. Though it is not a open source WebLogic, but still for practice everywhere.
Okay. With due respect, being you are also, I mean, very senior DevOps consultant, what would be the salaries that are there in the today's market?
As of today, it's going to be high. And if I want to talk about US, I'm sure that the least and least I have seen 80 per hour. The least and least. Okay. And
Uh,
in India,
yes.
there is a lot. Now I would say no end. Companies are giving just what you expect. For 4 years, guys, I've seen they are getting 11 lakhs, 12 lakhs.
Great. A few more questions going ahead. You have typically people coming for DevOps. I've seen for the registration, a few of the folks are there from the Java background, few of the folks from the admin background, and few
Oh,
of them
okay.
are also from the analytics background.
Right.
Typically,
So
going forward, when they market the resume, how many years of the experience that they need to showcase, and when they are marketing it, will they necessarily to keep their old existing experience live or not, or else they need to hide this existing experience?
it depends
Will
on,
they?
yeah, it depends on,
Yes.
yeah, it depends on country. In India,
Mhm.
market starts from 2 years, no doubt. And US
Okay.
depends on number of experience. Generally, people market with prior experience. You can have maybe 3 years, 2 years, 3 years with DevOps, and then past experience we can see on the different technology, and they can go
Mhm.
for. But I would say it starts with two.
Okay, fine. Uh, Great. Going forward, what kind of official certifications that are available for the DevOps? You know, I mean, if if I'm an aspirant, like, and if I need any certification guidance or help, what are the certification types available, and what kind of help that we can expect as a participant from the trainer?
Okay. So regarding that certificate questions, I don't think as of now you don't need any certifications, and even organizations are not expecting any certifications from you. It is just that you should have a good hands-on. So no certifications are expected as of now, until unless your really project demands that is going to be either sponsored or expected in the next project, but usually it is not required as of now.
Okay, thank you for the
Yeah,
webinar.
go ahead.
It was great. So we covered like few tools on each section of the whole like release management.
Right.
Will you be covering like each tool as part of this
Yes,
training?
we will. Yes.
Okay, and like what level? Like say in case of the source code management. So is it like do you cover starting from creating a head, checking out, checking in, all these things, or like how what is the level?
No, it's all about branches, tags, trunks. How do we do the process? Versioning, checkouts, check-ins, viewing the logs, diffs, all the process.
Okay, okay, got that. And will you be doing some like projects like say Hello World project, and we use the
Why?
code to check in something like that, or we use like three different
We
code?
will no. We will have an empty SCM, and we will create code ourselves, and then we will try to put in SCM and maintain. We will go from scratch.
Okay, okay, got that. Kumar.
Any other questions?
Like based on the experience level that you mentioned, like they are looking for something like 2 years experience in this particular space.
Yeah.
So is this training sufficient to get that much of level of experience? Like after the training, like if we do some hands-on without a real-time environment, is it possible to get a job like this?
To be honest, my previous batch of students, they are very much surviving with 6 to 7 years experience completely on DevOps. I don't see anyone as having trouble. So 2 years is just peanut.
Okay, like say I don't have a scope to work on, say after this training complete, probably like in my project I may not have the scope to implement all these. So but if I want a project where I can do all these, like if I have to join a new project, so will that like training alone help, or do I need to have my real-time experience?
No, it's not. In overall DevOps process, understand the process is very important rather than tools. Tools is very easy, but what the most people don't understand is process. So once if you understand the crux of the process, it's going to be very easy until unless you remember that. It's going to be very easy. So no, don't worry, just a matter of half an hour, 1 hour practice every day would really make you comfort.
Okay, so you mean to say that training, like whatever we get, along with that homework that we do, should be sufficient enough to go and look for opportunities in this particular domain as space, and get a job and survive in the job.
Yes.
Without like any real-time experience in this one.
Yeah, it's see what I'm going to explain the process is more towards the real time, and I'm confident. Trust me. Tomorrow, if you go to join in any project, the same I'm explaining here, you will repeat the same words in your project. It's going to be replica.
Okay, got that. Thank you so much, Kumar.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? Alright guys, I hope my session gave you little brief about at least what is DevOps all about and then what do we do with that. So if you can carry something out of this session, I'm pretty happy. So we'll catch you up in the later sessions.
And before we find it, like one final question.
Yeah.
Like is there a tentative date when the training is gonna start?
Our team will contact you for all those details. So I may not be the right person to say that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you up later.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you.